I really cannot tell you how I still have hair on my head. Hello everybody, welcome back to our channel. I am JC. If you are new here, from Jack, my boys are here or whatever. Still working with the flow of that intro. I'm not actually sure what I titled this video, but it is a hair chat. So my hair is out, and that is kind of what prompted me to do this video. Now you all know, first of all, that I love my natural hair. I love being a part of the natural hair community when it's not moving a bit mad, you get me? But I have to say that I feel like there are so many things that I know not to do with my hair that I've been doing. One, just negligence. And two, there have been new things that have come into my life and into my routine that have my hair, like, I don't know if you can see, I don't even want to get that. My scalp is on fire, okay? My scalp is not doing well. I mean, first of all, let's just get into it. I continue to use my oil, right? So the fact that I still have hair on my head, I really think this is the main key. Like, I continue to use this. This I haven't been too negligent with. I've been doing it once a week. It should be twice a week, but things have just been, things are going in, okay? So this is one of the areas that I've kind of fallen behind, but I've kept up with this. This is my hair growth oil. If you're interested, I will link it down below. Jam-packed with all the things that I need for my hair to grow, and I love it, and I swear by it. So thank goodness I have at least one thing in my routine that I come back to, because I think that has definitely helped. And it's helped so much in this period of time when my scalp, send help because I'm over it. Send help because I'm over it. My scalp has been super itchy as of late. I've been having dandruff that I don't usually see. Like, I am a person that can go 3 weeks without washing my hair because of the fact that it still would look okay. Like, yes, the twists get fuzzy, but the scalp, in terms of scalp care, it starts getting itchy like around 3 weeks. It starts getting the buildup around 3-ish weeks. Like, I'm very particular with some of the products I use and what I do, that I've been able to stretch it that long. These days, yeah, I have washed my hair. By the time I finish washing it, let it dry for 2 days before I put it into the dry twist that I usually carry my hair around in, it is itchy. The next day after that, there's dandruff. What is going on? What is going on? So this is just me coming to the table to be like, okay, y'all, if anybody knows what this could be, let me know. I'm gonna give my theory of what I think it is. It's still a theory, okay? It's still a working progress. It's still a hypothesis rather. And I'm testing it out to see if this is my theory. But I've been thinking, I was like, what have I done differently? What am I doing differently in my life? What is new? All of that. And I realized that I've taken up the endeavor of swimming. So I decided at my big age, okay, that I should learn how to swim. I have access to a pool in New York. First of all, there are a lot of recreational centers for those that are interested. When I talk about this in this journey, there are lots of rec centers. And once I found my stride in my swimming journey, I decided, okay, I'm gonna go. But there are also gyms, and I'm using a gym to swim. Anyway, using this gym, trying to learn how to swim. I buy a swim cap. I think that swim cap was like 60 bucks, okay? Because it's supposed to keep your hair dry. You go natural, I believe it is. And don't get me wrong, it kind of works, but I guess at the end of the day, you're submerging yourself in water, so how dry can your hair really be? So they're ever so often that not ever so often actually, it happens. It happens at least once every week. And for now, I've been going swimming twice a week. So at least once during those 2 times, water will seep in a considerable amount, at least to the perimeter. It never gets here, which is why I still decided to keep the swim cap, and which is why I would not say I regret my purchase, because ultimately other swim caps have my whole scalp wet. This swim cap, once every time, I don't know if it's the way I'm putting it on or what, I put it on the same way every time, I think, but sometimes it just seals better, sometimes it doesn't, but it gets around the perimeter. And this is where I've been seeing a lot of the itching and stuff. Like, the middle of my hair is fine. It's here that I'm seeing the flakes. And when I say, like, when I say flakes, I mean flakes. I mean it's flecking. It's really flecking, okay? Now, I can't see the back of my head, but again, the chlorine water also gets in the back perimeter too. I can't really see back there, but it does kind of itch, not as much though as here and around the sides. It is itching, okay? Today is wash day. I'm just trying to get this video filmed, but I cannot wait to wash my scalp. I also decided that I'm going to take a break from swimming because I have been on this swimming journey for approximately 3 months now. So imagine, every week, at least once a week, I'm getting chlorine water on my hair. I wash my hair every 3 weeks. So technically it's like a buildup of this chemical or whatever, maybe that my hair is not used to. So I'm thinking perhaps that is messing with, you know, my scalp pH balance. This is my theory, or my hypothesis rather, and I'm calling it my hypothesis because I'm going to take a break on the swimming. I feel like I've gotten to a level where I'm like, okay, I feel comfortable with this, and I'm gonna give it a break, give it a rest, and then circle back at a rec center learning how to swim there. So during that break, then I'll really be able to see if anything in my scalp or hair changes. But this time that I'm gonna wash my hair, I'm not going swimming after, so I will take note. I do think it might take a few washes and stuff for my hair to return, so even if there is some flakiness and all of that after this wash, I'm not going to count my hypothesis out just yet because I feel like things need some time to neutralize. But I'm definitely going to get in there like swimwear today. But it just reminded me of how much homeostasis or equilibrium is important in not just natural hair care, because you know people love to say natural hair takes a lot, but just in hair and scalp care in general. And as someone that has just always had, you know, pretty normal to good scalp care, I've never thought about it. I've taken it for granted in essence. You know, I've had people tell me things when I've done my videos like, oh, I don't think I could stretch my hair and wait that long to wash it because my hair, my head or my scalp gets a lot of itching and this, and I've never been able to relate to that really, because I'm just like, okay, well, that's not necessarily my problem. Like, I for the most part have a pretty healthy scalp skin and I can go however long. 3 weeks is where we're at. I think doing a month will be pushing it. I have done it in the past and it hasn't flaked up or anything. I have done it in the past if I have to because I'm super busy. But 3 weeks is like, you know what I'm saying, it's where I'm at. But some people can't even do a week or two without things looking crazy. So this is a period of my life when I'm like, okay, I understand you. Even doing this twist out. Like I've had this twist out in for 2 days and I'm already ready to have it out because I'm like, I just don't like the look of it. Like I feel a bit like, about the fact that I can see flakes in it. And I'm like, if I can see it, I think other people can see it. And I'm there putting product on it to try and blend it in or to try and smooth it out and not make it look like it's, well, it's just, guys, I'm really struggling and I just really need for my hypothesis to be correct. Because I don't like this. I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. So in this video, I'm just going to talk about some of the things that you may be doing that I used to do. Some I can hold my hand up and say that I've reverted back into doing. Things that you've been doing that could be causing your hair setbacks upon setbacks upon setbacks. Things that you should not be doing with your hair and that you might do. These are common hair mistakes, I think, so I just want to make a video on it because I'm going through something, so let's chat. Okay, so we already spoke about washing and how long I can go without washing my hair, but I do think a common mistake people make is washing their hair too often, okay? I don't think anyone really has the problem of not washing their hair enough. I think some people have the problem of not, or washing too often. Just like people overwater plants, I think that could happen with hair. I think natural afro textured black hair, it is prone to dryness, right? We all know this, I think, at this point. It's prone to dryness. The natural sebum that our scalp produces, typically with straight hair, is able to descend down the hair strand and just coat the whole entire hair. So it's just a natural lubricant. With our hair, because it's so kinky and coily and curly, there's no way that that sebum is getting down the whole strand of hair. It usually stops somewhere up here. And so the rest of our hair does tend to be dry, and which is what leads us to put in things like hair grease or, you know, hair oils, creams, all the other things that we put in because our hair is prone to dryness. So imagine if your hair already is prone to dryness and you're washing it a lot, you're washing out again the moisture that you're just putting in, and again your hair goes through longer periods of time when it's like dry, intentionally dry, because you stripped it down with washing. 1. 2, I think washing too much makes you manipulate your hair too much. So with our hair, low manipulation or no manipulation is the way that our hair thrives the best, especially the kinkier your hair is. My hair 4B4C, very clearly so. My hair thrives better when it is not touched too much. It thrives better when I can go long periodical times without touching it. That's just how it works. And so when you're washing your hair often, that usually comes with detangling. That usually comes with, depending on how you detangle, a brush, comb, whatever to go with it. Then it goes through you styling it. It's just a lot. So imagine doing all of that to your hair every week. Okay, yes, your style will look fresh. Yes, you would feel like your hair is cleaner or whatever. But the point is, you've now added extra breakage, extra pulling of your hair, extra manipulation that wouldn't have been there if you had stretched it for 2 weeks maybe, or 3 weeks, or however long. Everyone is different. I already said how long that I go without washing my hair, but that might not be the case. Okay, now that I'm experiencing my own scalp issues, I understand that that might not be feasible for everyone to do. So I understand that. But I think finding out what's the max that you could stretch it for your hair and your hair type is the best thing that you can do. Hello, hello. I don't think I'm gonna have to say this, but I'm gonna have to say it, okay? Tight styles. Please, please, excuse me, dear. Leave the tight styles ideas in the drafts on your phone. Leave it in the drafts. Don't put that on your head. Traction alopecia, it's a real thing. Tension, it's a real thing. Receding hairlines because you play too much and those who can't hear must feel. It's a real thing. So just allow it. Tight styles, I think, is another thing. And why I'm adding this to the list, even though it's very, very basic, even though I'm sure we all know, is because there are a lot of styles that are getting repopularized now, which I love, that are braids. I remember a period of time when wearing braids, well, it had to be like 5 years ago, was seen as a bit childish. Like, even if you had natural hair, the goal was to wear it in like if you're gonna have to wear it in twists, pull it back. Like, even me with my twists, I felt like, oh god, it looked a bit young having them down. Now, like, people wear their own 2-strand twists down and everything, whereas back then I was like, oh, this makes me look a bit too young, or the, you know, child, all these random things. Braids, getting braids, box braids or something that I was like, oh, okay, the young girls are doing it, but not necessarily like someone mature and all of that. So things have changed now. Box braid styles are out there. People are doing stitch braiding. They're doing the quick weaves with the braid in the front. They're doing, the playing field is way more open now, and I've noticed women of all ages getting braids because it's just a style. So with that being said, people are trying to find discounts. Braids are not cheap, honey. Braids are not cheap. So you're going to anybody, asking them, you want the style to look clean, you want the parts to be this. There's so much different parts now. Oh my god, like, what the heck? People are doing hearts. It's crazy. So you want someone that could do all these styles and designs, and you want your hair to look fresh and parted, and the parts have to be straight. That's a whole big thing now, trend about like making sure the parts are like crisp and straight. When to me, I'm like, isn't that obvious? Like, the parts were always straight. Since you've been getting your hair braided when you was young at the African, the parts were straight. But now it's like a thing. Like, they gotta use gel and like get the part and say, okay, all right. Anyway, because of that attention to detail and things looking crisp, I think with some people, they lose sight of the fact that, hey, the tension on my hair, it being too tight, yes, it might get me that crisp look that I want, but it can lead to, you know, damage later down the line. You can also get that crisp look without it being too tight. There are people doing it, so just, you know, make sure you know the stylist is doing what you need them to do, okay? This one is another one that pertains to dry hair. So, washing your hair in water that is extremely hot. Now, I'm saying this because this is where I fall in the line. This is where I'm guilty as charged, okay? Washing your hair with hot water, it's not good for your hair or your scalp care. It's essentially stripping your hair. The heat of the water does more to strip your hair of the natural oils that it has, and of course shampoos do that, but just the hot water, like even if you co-wash like I do, using water that's too hot, it does the same to your scalp, dries it out, leads to itchy, flaky scalp. Now, I know I wash my hair with some hot water sometimes, but it's not, I don't think it's that's the problem, because I've learned to temper it a bit, and I haven't been washing it with any temperature hotter than I have before, and I'm getting all of this. But that is one of the side effects. Itchy scalp, flaky scalp, dry, brittle hair. After you wash it, you put in your conditioner, it's still dry and brittle because the heat of the temperature of the water is stripping your hair of the natural oils that it has. So that is something that I say, please take my advice, okay? Take my advice. Do warm water. Warm water is perfect. It opens up the cuticles, allows dirt to pass in and out. Very, very great for being able to scrub your hair and remove the dirt and the buildup, coupled with the products that you're using. Absolutely. Chef's kiss. Chef's curse, okay? But hot water, that's when you're going into a different sort of territory. So I would not recommend it. And I have to tell myself this too. Great. Another one, I feel like I've talked about this on this channel, but trimming your hair too often. First, let me start by saying everyone's hair is different, okay? And the amount of times that you would need to trim your hair is vastly different from the amount of times that someone else might need to trim their hair. Let's start with that. Let's follow up with me. I trim my hair once every 6 to 8 weeks, okay? So that's once every 2 months. Now, previous to this shift of how I trim my hair, I used to trim my hair every 3 weeks, which is every time I would wash my hair, I would trim. But that's because I was going through issues with my ends. I didn't like the way they were looking and stuff like that. And now I've come to a place where I am accepting, and the breakage that I have, I feel like has done a pretty good job of evening out, and I can't really see the damage that I was able to see before. So that was a very specific special case. If you have a specific special case when you're trying to get rid of grow out heat damage, or you're trying to get rid of thin ends from some breakage that happened or whatever, then you might have to trim a bit more often because you have different goals and needs, okay? But if we're just talking about trimming in terms of just your natural upkeep of your hair and getting rid of ends that could later on cause breakage by the splitting or split ends traveling up the hair shaft and causing brittle breakage farther up on the shaft. If we're just talking about that, typically what is recommended is 6 to 8 weeks. I know that some people dust in between. They like to go in there, and dusting just means like going in strand by strand, you know, playing with your hair when you're looking at it and be like, okay, that one has a knot, okay, that one has a split end, and just doing it individually like that. I don't think there's any way possible that you can get every single hair in your head with the dusting method, but it's just a thing that some people do just because they want to be as on top of it as they can be. But if you don't dust, it's okay. As long as you trim when you know that your hair needs a trim, when you can sense, okay, I have a lot, not sense, you can see, you can see them with your physical eyes, that you have a lot of split ends. Like every hair strand you pick up is looking split endy. It's looking a bit split endy, bruh. It's time to go. It's time for those ends to go. If every time you're washing your hair and you're detangling, you get to ends and the ends are super, super tangled. Like, don't get me wrong. My hair is 4B, 4C. Ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way that my hair is just gonna run through when I'm finger detangling the ends. Like, the ends are always gonna be a bit more tangled. So I know the gauge of when it's a bit more tangled versus like, okay, all right, we have to, when I twist my hair, I have to trim. And I trim my hair as I twist. So as I twist, I trim. So it's not done in a way to even, it's not straightened or anything like that. It's just, you know, it's just done the way I do it. But yeah, whatever method that you have to trim, just make sure that you're not trimming too often. Okay, so I'm gonna end the video there. Let me know any other mistakes that you think people can be making. Also, let me know about your experience with scalp health, if you've ever had like any sudden changes like I'm having. If you think my hypothesis is correct, okay, because I really hope it is, okay? I really hope it is. I don't want to live like that. And I feel so much more empathy. Like, I already could understand the idea of dandruff and of having an itchy scalp and all of that. Like, I already got that, but I feel so much more empathy to the fact that, okay, it's not just about like you itching your scalp. It's about the fact that it actually like can take a style from looking okay to looking like, okay, this girl really needs to wash, which I always know whenever I wear a twist out that I need to wash my hair, but the rest of the world doesn't know because it's not so visible. But now it is visible, and I'm used to it being invisible, so it's just a lot. It's just a lot. So I'm excited to wash and see what happens. I'm hopeful that it all goes well and that we all return to business as usual, and then I have to figure out how to incorporate swimming into my schedule that is not going to make my hair fall off, okay? Any swimmers out there? Black swimmers, what? Swimmers in general. Is this a thing? Is the chlorine doing bits on your scalp? Is it throwing off the balance up there, the equilibrium? Let me know. Let me know. Because I'm not a swimmer. I don't know. You know? So I am going to end there. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye.